Right, that's it. I've had enough of this. Edda, Eknus, pack up your lockers, guys. You're going off to Toledo, you useless, pathetic excuses for professional pitches. Edda, Eknus, welcome back, guys. Turns out your replacement's even worse than you. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain, and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers. It's Season 5, Episode 6 today. The trade deadline has just passed, and we are going to be facing the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland. And, well, it's going to be a big game. There's a little bit to catch you up on before we get to that, though. We've done the first-year player draft, which we'll get to in just a second. I was pretty happy with our draft this year, actually. But there is a couple of injuries. Shohei Ohtani has, he's injured again for 2 weeks, which is annoying because he came back, hit a couple of home runs and injured himself again. So that's, frustrating. And Riley Green, it's a strained ab muscle, which apparently exists. I've heard it's not an actual rumor because I've never seen one. But yeah, it's 2 to 3 weeks day to day. I almost put him on the DL, or the IL, I should say. Yeah, I didn't because he technically can play. I don't want to make it worse. So it's a bit of an awkward one for him. I wasn't really sure the best way to go about it. And the other thing that's happened is pitching staff. I've dropped players. I've called them back. Right now, we are sort of set on DeGrom, Edda, Eknus, Walling, and Weathers, who will be starting today's game as our starting rotation. I did call in. I dropped McGarry. I had Harris and Gray in. They each had a start and was shit. So I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I don't know if I can get away with that. But anyway, they were terrible. And so they've gone back down to AAA after one start. And I called Edda and Eknus back in. To be fair to them, they've actually come back and done a little bit better. But yeah, it's just frustrating. Let's have a look at how we've been getting on before we do the first-year player draft. And we can see here, if we go back to July, of course, we left off with that doubleheader against Houston, which we lost both of. We lost the game 1-0 to Minnesota, which is annoying, but then we won one by a run, so that's okay. The Padres, who are a very good team, we actually won the first game, then lost the next two. Now, game 3 here, we got a new hitting coach. I sacked the other one, and then I realized, I'll show you the new guy in a moment, and then I realized that I can't hire who I wanted to because Altman has, he hires his own batting coach. So that was an extra frustration. But the new guy, Chris Duncan, I'm going to say doesn't fill me with confidence, but you can see since he's come in, our batting average is up to 270. It was 240 something before that. So whatever he's doing, so far, he's doing a decent job. But thankfully, I could sack the other guy because it just wasn't working with him. So yeah, that's the new hitting coach, and we'll keep seeing it. Even if I can't hire them, I can certainly sack them. So I can still sack this. So I can't fire. So that's fine. So I can get rid of ones till we find a good one, and hopefully eventually we'll find a good one. So that was that, and you can see there we were scoring runs, but the pitching was a bit atrocious. Then we had this series against Boston, which we won 2, lost 2. We lost one there in the 10th, which is always frustrating. We went to the Twins. We won 1 of 3, so that's again a little bit annoying. And then things did start to pick up for us. We had a 4-game series against Tampa, which we won 3 of, so that's obviously very nice. And in game 3 here, now this was the Eknus we know and love. 1 hit for the Rays. We got 8 to score the 3 runs. You can see the batting side of things there. It was fine. It was fine. Nothing particularly special, but it got the job done. But Eknus, 8.2 inning, 1 hit, 108 pitches thrown. He gave up a walk as well, but that's the Eknus that I think we all thought we were going to see a lot more of this season. So maybe just the indignity of going back to Toledo for a game or two has shocked him back into action. So that was really, really good to see from young Josh there. Then we played Kansas City. It was always worrying when we don't sweep them. We won 1 of 3. We did lose 1 in extra innings, but that's not great. Then this series against Cleveland, we won game 1. We won game 2, albeit very closely. We are looking for a sweep of the series in Cleveland, which would be brilliant. I suspect, though, we could be... we're going to lose the game again on YouTube, aren't we, having done okay. So we've won 11 of the 22, which isn't actually that bad. It just feels like, and I think I've said this before, we'll have a look at the pitching stats here. I think I said it before, because I sort of more am into, or my back, what's the word, like naturally when I was growing up, I sort of followed like football and baseball, not so much, but cricket and, rugby, those sorts of things. If you lose 5, 6, 7 games a season, then suddenly you're just an average team. So I have a really difficult time adjusting to the fact that if I'm winning 6 out of every 10 games, losing 4 of every 10 games, I'm actually a very good team. So I do struggle with that a little bit. But you can see the pitching stats there. There's nobody that's really struggling at this point. And those guys that were struggling, you'll notice someone like Sullivan have actually got the ERA back down to something more respectable. So even those guys are getting a little bit better, which is good. The hitting side of things, you'll notice that Carter Young is back in the lineup. I think what essentially happened is Young came back in for Ohtani, because Ohtani at one point came in and replaced what was that guy, Paul Kovic, whoever it was we had last episode. I think the key to point out here is Louis Garcia, who is batting over 300. Riley Green is having a good year. And Vega, I mean, he has, 52 hits this season. 17 of them are home runs. He only seems to deal in home runs. That is an insane percentage of home runs as a percentage of your hits. So that is wonderful from him. But yeah, those are the main protagonists to point out. I think no one else is particularly shining or not, as the case may be. One thing I have done is Takezawa's stealing a lot less now. He's not as good as I thought he was at stealing, so he's been caught as many times as he's got there, which is not great. Now let's have a quick look at the standings before we see the first year player draft, and we will see that we are a game behind the Twins, and I mean, again, not in a bad place. You know, we're not. It's not terrible. It just feels like it's not great, because we just seem to be a bit of an average team. The wild card, we are currently on the outside looking in, which is never great, but it's so close, and there's still long enough of the season to go. It's only August 2nd. We don't need to panic about anything just yet. And Cleveland, as you can see, who are playing today, they are currently bottom of our division, albeit only 7.5 games back. So they themselves will probably be thinking that they, if they play well, they could still make it themselves. So yeah, that is that. Now let's have a look at the future and who we've drafted. So our first round pick was a center fielder, although he can play anywhere in the outfield, and also a decent first baseman. If we look at his ratings, I suspect, no, he can only really play first base, can't he? But yeah, Troy Childers, he is potentially very good. I always like to have a look at OSA ratings, and just to see if they're similar, I figure then the chances are they will actually come through a little bit more consistently. And he could be a very, very good player indeed. So let's hope that comes up in our favor. So he's a long ways way off yet, but he was our first round pick. And we got a first round supplemental pick. I'm not completely sure what that is. I'm sure you guys will know. And we've got Alexi Amaya in. Now he is sort of jack of all trades, and he's actually quite good at all these trades as well. A good outfielder, good infielder, and a pretty good hitter as well. So he could prove to be, again, one of these guys that is a very, very useful player, though it says here he gets it, but if he doesn't do it, he forgets it. So yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like myself, to be honest. So that's troubling for him. Second round pick, I wasn't sure whether we should go for this guy or not, because he's only really a designated hitter, but if this comes off, what a designated hitter he could be. So Octavio Mendoza is his name. He is, again, a little ways away yet. If we look at his ratings, I mean, he doesn't know how to throw a ball. I don't even know if he owns a baseball glove, to be honest, but give him a bat and he could be dangerous. So let's hope that he comes through for us. Third round pick, I felt we were a little bit thin on the ground with catching, so we've gone and got John Cavazos. Again, he should be a decent catcher coming through, and he should be a decent catcher who can hit as well. So again, these are guys who are a little ways away yet, but really, really hoping that him particularly, but all these guys come through for us. Fourth round pick, we went with a pitcher. We got Raul Boa. Now, he's a closer right now, but he's going to be a starter longer term. The issue I have with him is the changeup, which isn't great. He lacks a little bit of movement as well, but he could be one of these guys that gets a lot of strikeouts and doesn't walk too many. So he's not a fly ball pitcher, so hopefully the lack of movement won't affect him too badly, although a curveball without much movement could be a problem, couldn't it? So he was our fourth round pick. Fifth round, we went with another pitcher, and another one that is he's not perfect. He's fragile as well. I've just seen he's out for 2 months. So we may never see him. But he's actually a decent batter. to a point. Not really, actually. He can catch a little bit as well. But again, the issue is maybe a lack of movement. His slider needs some work. But, I mean, he could come off for us, couldn't he? He could be a decent 4-5 guy in the rotation. Now, I said I was happy with our draft, and that's because we got this guy in the 6th round. Again, a very, very good defensive outfielder, and he should be an average bat kind of thing. So, again, to pick him up in the 6th round, I thought that was a really, really good, really good pickup. And I didn't stop there, because in the 7th round, we got Tony Machado. Now, this is another guy that could potentially be a very, very good player for us. So, 214th pick overall, and it must have been a really, really good graduating class, or, yeah, I don't know what the term is, but you know what I mean, it must have been a really, really good draft group. And then in the 8th round, we picked up this guy, a solid teammate. Again, he's not maybe not an all-star sort of style pitcher, but he could be very, very solid, particularly if movement or control, if one of those can kind of get up a little bit, then he could be very, very decent indeed. And then in the 9th round, we were still going in with some decent players. We got this guy who is, again, he's going to be a useful, sort of utility player, a decent enough bat, and yeah, we picked him up in the 9th round. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I was really, really pleased with what we did this draft. I was just generally pleased with it. Anyway, that is all that caught up on. Let's go and have a look at the lineups for this game as we look to sweep Cleveland. All right, and this is it. The matchups don't look great, though, do they? So Otto Lopez will lead us off at second base for this one. We're up against a left-handed pitcher, which is why there's a slight change. Takazawa will bat second in center field. It's Garcia batting third at third. It is Tony Vega, the designated hitter, bats 4. Torkelson at first base bats 5. Cabrera in right field bats 6. Panengo in left field bats 7. Dingla is the catcher today. He bats 8. Jose Lopez, the shortstop, bats 9. As I said, it is Ryan Weathers on the mound. 4-4 record for him this season, a 6.45 ERA, a whip of 155, but we know he had a really bad start to the season. He is slowly turning that around. We're up against Julio Urias for them. He has 13 starts, or 13 games anyway, 2-5 record, an ERA of 6.84, a whip of 154. So, I mean, he is no better than Weathers, and Weathers is on the up, but they have a few decent bats in their side as well. So let's go for the sweep. So welcome to Cleveland. It'll be Lopez to lead us off. Now he is batting .272 this season and is currently on 99 career hits. So it's a small milestone, but to get his 100th would be a nice thing here. It's a full count on him. And let's see what Otto can do to lead us off. He is quite decent against left-handed pitchers, which is why he's leading us off. But on this occasion, he grounds it out to second base, and that is the first out of the game. It'll bring Takazawa up, batting .254. A 1-2 pitch on him, and he strikes out for 2 away. And Luis Garcia will come in now. He is batting .301. Another 1-2 pitch, and that is a ground ball to third base. It should end the inning. It does. So a 1-2-3 for the Tigers in the first. And we'll send Ryan Weathers out to face Miles Straw, who's batting .237 this season, but in a bit of a slump. It's a 2-1 pitch. It's a ball up the middle, and it is a leadoff single for the Guardians. And just gets the feeling it's going to be one of those days, doesn't it? Rocchio will come in now, batting .306. A first pitch swing, lays down the bunt. It shouldn't be a good one, it's not. But the runner does get over to second, so I suppose it did its job. It's Jose Ramirez now, batting .252 this season. A 1-0, a ground ball to the shortstop, and Lopez with a very nice play indeed. That is 2 away with the man staying at second, and it is Reyes to the plate now, batting .212. A 1-1 pitch, a pop-up. And that'll do it for the first as Garcia makes the catch. So 2-3-4 inning for the for the Guardians there. Tony Vega will lead us off, batting .245 this season. It's a 2-1 pitch. Vega grounds it to the shortstop, and that'll be out. He is the slowest man alive. And this will bring Torkelson up to the plate now. He is batting .243. I think he's batting about .043 on YouTube though. It's a 1-0 pitch. Torkelson, he sent it deep. Center field is there though, and that is 2 away. And it will bring Cabrera up, who since last episode has got his 500th career hit. It's an 0-1 pitch, and Cabrera has hit it to center field, not as well as Torkelson. And that is a simple catch out there to end the inning. All right, Real Munto now batting 252 will lead them off. Weathers, a first pitch swing, a pop-up, and Cabrera in right field should have that quite comfortably. And that is one away. Toro now batting 249, a first pitch swing. And that has been ripped past Garcia at third for a leadoff, well, not a leadoff, a one-out single, I should say. And Joshua Baez will step in now, batting 241. And there's a walk, which isn't great. Weathers doesn't give up many of those. Controls his thing. So we're going to have Josh Naylor now batting 270 with 2 on, no one out. And that is going to drop in front of Cabrera. Can we stop the run from scoring? Oh, Cabrera with a rocket. And that is man at the plate. Tagged out for 2 away with runners at first and second. Jose Tena will come in now, batting 273, and that is into left field. Can Penengo stop the run from scoring? No, he cannot. And frustratingly, the number 9 man gets the RBI single. The Guardians take a 1-0 lead, and Straw, who's 1 for 1, will step in. And he's hit that to Cabrera. He goes back, makes the catch. And that'll end the second, but not before the Guardians have got themselves a run. Penengo now will come in to lead us off. He's batting 275 this season. A full count. Penengo strikes out for 1 away. Dylan Dingler now batting 207. A full count on him. Dingler strikes out. I thought this guy's ERA was like 700. What is going on here? Jose Lopez, the shortstop. He's in a slump. He's batting 221. And he strikes out on 3 pitches. Wonderful stuff. All right, we'll go to the bottom of the third. Rocchio, who laid down the sack bunt last time. An 0-2 pitch. And a strikeout for 1 away. Ramirez now, who's 0 for 1. A 2-2 pitch. And it's into right field. It's deep. It keeps going and going, but Cabrera is there and makes the catch at the warning track. 2 away now for Reyes, who's 0 for 1. It's a 1-2 pitch. It's popped up again. Penengo comes in, and that'll do it for the bottom of the third. So still the Tigers trail by 1. Otto Lopez will lead us off. He is 0 for 1. Well, everybody's 0 for. We haven't had a hit yet. A first pitch swing. Lopez. It's deep. It's not deep enough. And it is 1 away. Takazawa now, who's 0 for 1, comes in. A 1-2 pitch. Takazawa strikes out for the second time. And it will be Garcia now, 0 for 1. A 2-2 pitch. And Garcia, is that going to drop in for us? It doesn't look like it. And we still don't look like we know what a baseball bat is when we get on YouTube. It is Real Munto, who is 0 for 1, coming in to face Weathers. It's a 2-1 pitch. It is well hit into the right center gap. And that is going to be at least a double. Cabrera, decent arm, as we've seen already today, and keeps it to a double. All right, in comes Toro now, who's 1 for 1. He has looped that, has the over Lopez into left center field, and that's, no, not another run. Takazawa gets it in. And with no one out, we have runners at the corners and Baez to the plate. A 1-2 and a strikeout for 1 away. A double play now can get us out of this. Josh Naylor, who's 1 for 1. An 0-1 pitch. And oh dear, that is big. And it is 4-0. I don't understand why we are so bad now when I record. It's almost like they've got together, the pitching staff, and said he's got us in a toilet block out the back of the stadium. Let's not play for him when we get to YouTube. And that's just unprofessional as far as I'm concerned. So another hit there as Tena goes 2 for 2. Straw now, who's 1 for 2, comes in. It's a full count. And that should end it, shouldn't it? Oh, Jesus Christ. That should end it. 1. No, just 1. I don't understand. Do we sack Altman? Maybe Altman's got to go. I gave him that long extension, and he's just been terrible ever since. And it's now 6-0. Reyes steps in now. That should be out. Dingler out from behind the plate. There we go. 5 runs in the 4th. And Vega will lead us off. I'm not going to say they're 0 for 1 because they're all 0 for 1. We haven't had a hit yet. There we go. Strikes out on 3 pitches. Torkelson now. First pitch swing for him. Torkelson hits a decent ball, and it is, of course, robbed out there in right field. And in now will come Cabrera. It's a 3-1. Oh, good lord, we have a base runner. All right, Penengo now. Penengo, oh, unlucky. It was sharply hit, but first base makes the play. And we'll go to the bottom of the 5th. The thing is, too, it's just like... There's a decent strikeout there from Weathers. We do okay. I mean, we scored runs against the Padres. We scored runs against, you know, a lot of teams. I mean, they tend to be higher scoring. I think what I'm finding really frustrating about this season was that, with the exception of when we're on YouTube, when just bat and ball go completely missing, it seems like we either pitch well but bat poorly, or vice versa, bat well and pitch poorly. So we seem to have close games, but we've got a change of pitcher now, and is this our way back into the game, as Dingler will lead us off? Nope, that is a strikeout. Lopez now. At least we're not up against a perfect game here, because you know, they issued us a walk. The no hitter's still on, of course, and it looks odds on at this point. Otto Lopez, and that'll do it for that. Shutout. So we can't have a complete game. Actually, we can't. They've changed the pitches now. They can do like a team shutout or a team no-hitter, or I don't know if that's the thing. That's into the shift. Lopez has it, and that'll be 1 away in the bottom of the 6th. Tanner, who is 2 for 2. I don't know why it annoys me so much when the number 9 hitter goes 3 for 3, but it just does. I feel like that's supposed to be the guy that's crap. Oh, this is just miserable, isn't it? Straw comes in now. He gets a hit. That's going to be 7. Takazawa. He's got a decent... Oh, Takazawa! With a nice throw from center field. And that is out at the plate. So, Rockio now with 2 out, runner at second. A 1-0. And there we go. That'll end that. But yeah, I think we do have to seriously start asking the question about Altman. I feel like the problem, and this is a sort of, we're not doing that badly over the course of a season, but I think because every time we come on to record, we just look like we're just a miserable team, and we've got a hit. Nobody panic, but Louis Garcia just got a 1-out double. We've got him right where we want him, guys. Let's go and make him pay for those 6 runs. All right, Bednar comes on for them. ERA of 2.17 now. Vega will step in. It's an 0-1 pitch. Vega pops it up. And that will be caught in left field. It'll bring Torkelson to the plate. And Torkelson has also popped up. And that will end the 7th. So we stretch. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error. What a disaster. Ramirez will face Weathers now. It's a full count. And it's a strikeout. I mean, you take that 4th innings out of the game, and Weathers has actually done okay here. And how many of those runs are not earned because of the error? I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. If we have a look at him, where's his thing here? He's got 4 earned runs today, so they are. So 4 of the 6 are earned. You know, he's in the 7th. I mean, that's not terrible for someone who's the number 5 in the rotation, is it? I wouldn't have thought so. And that'll do it. Mike Ruff will come on now. Let's see if he can end the inning here. So 6.2 inning for Weathers. He gives up 4 earned runs, 11 hits, which isn't great. But we'll go to the 8th, and it will be Denny Cabrera to lead us off. He is 0 for 1 today, and he's grounded that to third base, and that'll be another 1 out. Penengo 0 for 2. Everybody's 0 for except for Louis Garcia, so I'm just going to save my breath on that one. 2 away. Oh, this is so bad. It is so bad. Dingler now. 2 for 2 and 2. And there we go. Strikes out again. And this is just... But yeah, okay. So let me know what you think in the comments. Altman, do we just bin him off? Then I can get whatever batting coach in theory that I want. I don't understand why, because I used to be able to choose the batting coach. Unfortunately, he's decided that he's Billy Big Time now, and he'll choose his own batting coaches, but he just picks the wrong ones. Tanner, who is 3 for 3. There goes the runner. Dingler with a nice throw. Runner out at second. All right. On this form, it's almost worth walking Tanner. But that'll be out at first, but it'll be another run across the plate. I've never understood in that situation. Throw home and tag him at the plate. Get the out there. Save the run. But anyway, it's not the way it's done in baseball, is it? I find it really frustrating about baseball, the way it's like, in this situation, you must do this. There's no, like, thinking outside the box. It's like when they do a shift. Yeah, they do these extreme shifts, which I think are being banned. Just bunt the ball down the third base line and just get yourself on base. They'll soon stop doing it. It's just an ego thing, isn't it? And we're in the ninth already. New pitcher, Jose Leclerc. Otto Lopez will come in with 1 out, no one on. A 2-1 pitch. Otto Lopez back to the pitcher. And oh my god, we have a second hit. Hits are more than errors. I don't want to panic anybody. Takazawa now, who's 0 for 3. Of course, it's 0. We know it's 0. That's going to be a double play to end the game. This is miserable. Just finish it already. Just... Edwards is pinch hitting as he is. Edwards is... well, he just needed a rest today, so that'll probably mean he can't play tomorrow now. So excellent. Good work, Altman. 2 on, 2 out for Tony Vega. Can he give us something to go out on resembling a high? It's a 1-2 pitch. And there we go. I'm not going to ask you to like that. That was miserable. So, Brian Altman. What are we thinking with Brian Altman? Now, if we look at his time at the Tigers, batting averages have gone down. Now, is that his fault? You can see there, the only thing he wants to do is hire a hitting coach. And it's the only thing that's getting worse under his management. So, I just gave him a 4-year extension, which is really annoying. But do we just have to bite the bullet, bin him off, get somebody else in? Now, I think we have people in-house that could come in and take over, actually. Of course, our bench coach, Casey Whitmer, is quite decent. But, of course, if he is the manager, then we lose him as a bench coach. But, yeah, I mean, you can see he's pretty much very good at everything. And then if we could get our own manager in, then this is the guy I'd like to make our hitting coach. But, yeah, so he's just got a neutral focus rather than one specific part. But anyway, I mean, his batting average with AAA teams isn't great, but maybe that's what he's working with as well. But anyway, let me know. I know you're going to ask Bruce Crabb. The reason he's a baseball god is because he no longer walks amongst us. He is retired, so we can't do much about that. But yeah, let me know what you think. I am increasingly thinking that Altman is not turning into the guy that we hoped he would do. Anyway, we'll be back next time. If you'd be so kind as to not leave me, we'll be back. I don't even know what we come back for. What do we come back for here? I mean, we're still in the playoff race. I'm wondering if we come back early September. The Texas Rangers are pretty much the best team in baseball right now. So we lost to the worst team in Houston. Maybe we go back to Texas and we beat the best team. You never know. So I think that's what we'll come back for that. And then we can get a sense of how the regular season is going to wind up and if we're any chance of going to the postseason. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on what we do with Altman. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care.